result of that starting this game. Certainly a big game, as Taylor Stevens so far is undefeated. She won the A bracket as well as the B bracket, so as a result of that, if she were to win this game, she would then win the junior provincial title as a result of her going undefeated through all 3 brackets. So certainly a big game in terms of determining our provincial champion.
And we were just talking about, momentum. You would argue that Taylor has that right now, but if Callie can pull out a win here, it chips away, and their challenge is going to be to try not to think in the future.
Exactly.
Stay right in this present game.
Take it one game at a time.
And do what you can, one end at a time, one rock at a time, as they say. So we'll see. And not surprising, they're starting with a bit of an open end.
Get their legs under them. Always a good idea, especially in a long 10-end game.
10-end game, you've got a couple ends to
get
your sea legs.
Exactly. So this is Kate Fitzgerald. She's the lead for Taylor Stevens' team. And Taylor's just calling for her to come top 4 here, keeping it fairly open, as Kim said.
They seem to have weight down right away, which is an asset.
That's a lovely draw there by Kate, top button. So the lead for Team Callymore is Michaela Harnish, and she'll be looking to hit and roll off that rock to the wings, ideally.
Yeah, and like Kristen said, they try to roll it to the wing to, it changes up the hit, but also just to give it a different look. And if they were to roll out here or even roll into the 12-foot, they may choose to put up corner, but...
Exactly. So now we have Kate Callahan here throwing the second stones for Team Stevens. Kate Callahan actually won a U18 national championship with Michaela Harnish and Emily Prue, who are now on Team Callymore's team. So former teammates now playing against each other in the provincial final.
And that's always fun too.
Yep, I know they're still good friends on and off
and
the ice.
And it's fun to compete against your friends.
It really is.
For some reason, you want to beat them even more because it's just fun.
It's
and
true.
They feel the same way.
It's very true. And then you're still happy for them to have won in the end, ultimately. Yep. So this is Emily Prue throwing second stones for Callymore, and yes, she was part of that U18 national champion team back in 2018, I believe. And that's a nice nose hit there by her.
Yes, everybody's getting the nerves out, on point so far.
We also have the men's C final going on over on sheet C, so that'll be taking place between Team Lowen and Team Weagles, so we'll give you some score updates on that game as well as that progresses.
Yes, and unlike the women's side, the men potentially if Team Lowen were to pull this game out, there would be 3 different teams that won ABC qualifier, which hasn't happened in quite a while.
Yes,
Kristen tells me.
It's been a number of years since we've had more than 2 teams really vying for the title at the end of the week. So that could certainly make for some interesting playoff games going into tomorrow potentially if Lauren were to pull out that win in the C final. So we'll keep you updated on that one as well.
No, you're not.
Another nice hit and stick by Emily there.
So they're slowly creeping out of the rings.
Yep, so...
I suspect at this stage of the end, though, they'll continue to keep it open, throw it in the house.
At this point, I would imagine.
Point,
exactly. So we have the third here for Team Stevens, Lindsay Burgess. Lindsay's actually a 2018 World Junior Champion, so certainly an experienced player.
And played at the National Mixed this year as well.
Yes, she did, with her uncle Peter, as well as Colleen Jones and her son Luke.
It was a family affair.
Yep. So unfortunately a flash out on that one. She just went by the yellow rock she was looking to hit. I have noticed over the past couple days that it has been a little straight out wide in the wings.
Sure
and it's certainly fooled a couple teams on shots like those, I've noticed.
Yes, and also very release sensitive out there as well,
Yes.
which often goes with straight. But I agree. I noticed that in the game I watched previously.
So the third for Team Callie Moore is Madison Johnson, looking to split the rings here. Madison's originally from Saskatchewan, actually, and she represented the host team at Nationals last year, curling out of Saskatchewan, but she graduated high school last year and has now begun her studies at Dalhousie, so she's since moved out here to play with Callie. She also played at the Canada Games last year, which is where I believe she would have met Callie, as Callie was our Canada Games representative last year. So certainly lots of curling connections out there.
And for me, it's really nice to have Kristen here, who knows everybody and has competed against these girls not long ago.
Yes, yeah.
Which I have competed against them, but certainly not in the junior provincial level.
So Lindsay will make contact on that one and get rid of the yellow stone. So looks like Callie's going to try and make use of that corner guard Madison threw up on her last one.
And it does seem to be curling nicely to the wing, just a nice steady curl.
Yeah, nice and gradual, very manageable for the sweepers.
This one looks like it's got some legs, although they are sweeping it.
Looks like they're directionally sweeping that one just to try and get a piece under cover and make this hit a little tougher for Taylor.
Yeah, great shot.
Well swept.
Say she's got, well, probably 3/4. Anyway.
Certainly makes the tip
A little tucked.
Yep.
Yep.
Even a little piece is always nice, as it prevents Taylor from rolling underneath herself. It always makes it a little more difficult for the eye, at least, looking at a rock that's even somewhat partially buried.
For sure. First end as well.
Exactly.
You know, where you're just getting a feel. Yeah, and it is those basic meat and potato shots, like the come-arounds, draws, hitting sticks, that will really, the most consistent team will take you a long way.
Exactly. If you can make the simple shots, you're going to win a lot of games.
You will win a lot of games. Yeah, so nice start for both teams, really.
Yeah. And Taylor Stevens actually played with Callie Moore last year on that Canada Games team, winning a bronze medal in Red Deer. So, again, former teammates now playing against each other in U21 category. They're directionally sweeping this right now to get a piece, it looks like.
Well done.
And that's a great shot there by Taylor.
Very nice. And playing against Taylor myself through this season particularly, and last, she's a great fourth rock thrower. She throws a good rock, and she seems to be very comfortable with the position. So.
Yep, she's certainly a very experienced player. Been playing against her for many years, and she's always been a force to be reckoned with. So, great thrower.
Yeah, and I would think the combination of Lindsay joining her, I mean, Lindsay's had the opportunity when she played with yourself, and under Coach Andrew, I mean, you guys really left no stone unturned and learned a lot.
We really did, yeah.
I would think Taylor would benefit from that as well.
Absolutely, yeah.
From just a different person and a different person's experience.
Exactly. Lindsay, also having curled with her from experience, is a very lighthearted player. She certainly keeps the atmosphere a lot of fun out there, so she's a great person to have on your team in terms of calming your nerves and keeping things light.
Yes, I would agree. She has a lovely disposition out there.
That was a nice nose hit by Callie to stick around in the rings on that one. So Taylor's just going to be looking to return the favor and force Callie into making the blank.
And blanks. Now that is not as easy as it looks.
No, it's certainly not.
You would think when you're trying to hit and stick, you think rolling out is looking easy, and it's interesting that when you're trying to blank, it reverses.
Exactly.
It's like, oh, a hit and stick looks so easy, and now the blank looks hard. So it really is a mindset, but it is interesting. Blanks are something people don't practice, but perhaps they should.
I agree. It's certainly something that you absolutely should work on as a skip. Because I've seen so many times, even throughout this week, oftentimes what you'll see happen is a team plays for the blank the entire end, only to get a nose hit at the end. And that can be very disappointing. And
because when you come to throw it, you think, I don't want to miss it. I mean, hopefully you're not thinking that. But, I mean, you broom to make sure you get a piece. And
exactly.
And we're so trained to try to hit a rock on the nose. It's really, you just have to step inside the shot and
accept it, yeah.
Throw your firm at that broom, and then it is an easy shot. But it is interesting that you see a lot of nose hits. I think there are statistics on it that that are kept at the national level, and I don't know what it is, but there's a high percentage of blank attempts that are not made. Like, I'm going to say 30%.
I wouldn't doubt that,
it was
quite
higher
honestly.
Than I thought.
Sweeping this right out of Callie's hand.
See, so like we talked about, and also there was a flash out there earlier, so you're like, I don't want to, straight in the wings, and anyway, very well done.
Great shot by Callie in order to get the blank after a nice and open end. So good start for her team.
Yes, because that's the win for Callie. I mean, you play that open end, and Taylor Stevens' team would see it as a win if she took one.
Exactly.
Because that's an easy force, unforced error. But she didn't. And as we were talking about the meat and potatoes, those are the little details that make a huge difference.
Absolutely.
Getting the blank there in the first end.
So I'm not sure whether Taylor's team has agreed to go either top 4 or tight on this one. So we'll just see how they choose to sweep it and get an idea of what they're looking for here.
Yeah, if they're more comfortable to go for a tight one, because again, when we've played Taylor, she does look to be going tight.
Yeah.
She does play a fairly aggressive game, in my experience against her at least.
And it does look like that's what she's doing, so that makes sense then with what you've seen so far from her this season.
And well done.
And Callie's opting to call a come around there for Michaela Harnish.
Now, Callie's other option would be to throw up a corner, but, this way is a little, I guess, less aggressive.
Agreed, yeah. For the second end it's still early in the game, so this is certainly the slightly less risky of calls, I would say.
Yes.
As if she were to throw the corner guard, then that would give Taylor's team an opportunity to beat her to the 4-foot.
Yes. And then on the flip side, the only downside of playing this one is if your top button, you do shrink up your scoring area for 2.
Exactly. So the ideal placement on that one would have been just biting the 4-foot probably, and unfortunately slipping a little deep there. So Taylor's now going to make
even
an
full
attempt
8
to come around.
would have been okay.
Exactly. Yep. Don't want to minimize that scoring area. So Kate Fitzgerald now looking to come in and around.
And Kate just had a nice feel on her tight guard, so you expect this to be pretty close.
Sweepers are on and off of it so far. Stepping back a bit now, though, as it's looking to be running a little heavy.
Yeah, just by its line. Oh, coming down. Good job. She would have liked it perhaps a little lighter, a rock maybe, but
well managed to get shot rock there.
Exactly.
Still.
Making Callie have to play it and not go on the offense to sit 2.
Exactly, and like you said, that's still working to shrink the scoring area effectively, which is what Taylor would like to do in order to reduce Callie's chances of getting a 2 this end.
Again, this one's just got a bump weight.
That's a nice throw there to get shot rock, but it will leave room for Kate Callahan now to try and make a nice freeze on the tee line.
And it'll be interesting to see if this is made if somebody makes a big weight play, shake up the angles. They're not working for Callie, perhaps.
Sweepers seem to think this one might be a little heavy as well. This is also the 4th rock down this path, so it's likely getting slightly faster with each rock.
Yes, it would be pretty greased up here right now. If you were to go to the other side, it'd probably be a good, half second slower, but right here it's fast. Actually, great shot.
Very well judged, and a great throw there by Kate Callahan to get shot rock. And now, like you said, Callie's going to be looking to clean things up with a peel here.
Yeah, because right now, Taylor's winning the setup.
Exactly. That's a pretty tough rock to remove, and it's essentially dead buried, so Callie's going to look to open things up.
And on the button. So
yes.
all not good for Callie.
So looking for the peel here from Emily Prue. And she actually runs it back into the pile and picks off that back blue, as well as moves that guard slightly wider.
So it improves the situation.
Absolutely. It opens up the center line a little more and removes some of that backing.
However, setup is still in favor of Taylor's team at the moment. Due to Kate's great freeze.
Yeah, that was a fantastic shot, as it's going to take at least 2 rocks to really get that out of there. There's not a lot of space between that blue rock and the yellow one behind it, so it will be tough to remove for Callie, and it will probably take a couple rocks for her to open things up.
I'm not sure she called this all the way in, but they are taking it there.
That was a good decision once they realized how deep that rock was going to slide.
Mm-hmm.
They lined it up relatively nicely, so it's unlikely that Callie will be able to remove both blues, it looks like, but certainly looking to open things up at least and get rid of one of them here.
Yeah, for Callie, if she can remove the yellow behind the blue, that's a
win.
Big win, because it releases. You hear them talk about releasing the blue, so they would be able to remove it.
Exactly.
The second time.
Unfortunately, getting a dead jam there. However, that being said, it does leave a blue double, it looks like, that's accessible to her right now. So Taylor's got to make sure this next guard is well placed so that Callie doesn't have the opportunity to sit 2 or maybe even 3 as a result of that double.
Yes, and this is, it's great setup for Taylor at the moment, but now you're guarding that yellow one for as long as you can, because Callie does have, I guess, control in essence, because she's got the rock in the control zone to run in.
Exactly.
But the other option, I suppose, would be to remove that yellow rock, but that gets tricky and it's hard to stay there. And then you're leaving Callie the double to open up the end and score. So guard is a good call.
That was well thrown by Lindsay. So Callie's just looking to peel it now and open things up, it looks like.
Yeah, it looks to be a single peel. I don't think there's a hole there. What do you think, Kristen? It's hard to tell. We're off to the side a bit.
Yeah, so we're at a bit of an angle.
So it's difficult to tell, but I think it's peel.
It looks like she's looking for the peel, although I think this one might be running a little wide.
Oh,
and that's
great
actually
shot.
a great call by Callie to get the double peel and spin their shooter in. So they are now sitting 2nd, 3rd, and 4th shot.
And suddenly those 2 little blues that looked so nicely tucked in there are